Welcome to the first episode of Falcon Focus. I'm Jeff Holmquist, Editorial Director of the Association of Graduates. Today we're talking with Colonel David Caswell, class of 2001, head of the Department of Computer and Cyber Sciences at USAFA. Today we're discussing the new Center for Cyber Innovation that will break ground sometime in 2019. Welcome, Colonel Caswell.
Thank you, Jeff.
Colonel Caswell, talk a little bit about the big why. Why is the Air Force's focus on cyber so important today and in the future?
So first off, Jeff, I want to kind of broaden the term cyber. Often we think about that as just hacking, defense, and offense, and that kind of perspective. Realistically, when we're talking about cyber here at USAFA, we're talking about a much broader spectrum. Everything from artificial intelligence and drones and trying to make them work in collaborative space to that hacking and defense and those aspects. And right now we're living in the 21st century. This business is growing exponentially. Artificial intelligence is growing in the news, and we're seeing it being driven through both the commercial marketplace, but also through all of the different aspects we're trying to do in the Air Force. And it's more than even just the artificial intelligence, just foundational data science and understanding how the data manipulates our everyday world and the missions that we're running across the Air Force. Taking that all the way to the cyber spectrum, if we're worried about data, we're worried about the security of that data. And so we have to look at it from a full spectrum of both how to go leverage data to help us, but also how to go and protect that data to make sure that it's being meaningful and useful from the Air Force's side, from the US and our allies' side, and then trying to find ways to use that data against our adversaries. As data continues to grow throughout all of the different uses that we use it for the Air Force, it also is growing on our adversary side. And our challenge is to figure out how do we capture to make sure our data is protected and our information is working at the speed of cyber, whereas we're stopping the enemy from having that same advantage on their side.
So it is a challenge, right?
Yeah, it's a huge challenge. The expanse of data that we have in the Air Force right now continues to grow. We have built multiple different myriads of independent stovepipe systems, and we're now having to start asking broader questions of how do we start bringing those systems together so that we can figure out more higher level concepts and higher level applications and uses of that data in order to help make our operations more effective. The security of that and understanding how does it connect and preventing other adversaries from trying to manipulate that or to change it, well, to manipulate it or to delete it or to do anything that impacts our ability to command and control is a significant concern to us. On the flip side, if we're taking a flight of jets and we're going into an adversarial space and I can try to do something to go and stop that adversary from being able to shoot down those jets, if I'm working at their aerial defense systems, and I can do that from a cyber perspective, how can we do that quickly, and in the time and tempo that is needed to support our broader missions? Chief has a large push for multi-domain command and control, multi-domain operations. How do we as the Air Force service try to fight in that broader perspective? A lot of that fight can be brought in from the cyber domain as we continue to learn, grow, and develop our capabilities there. In USAFA, we see as a way to start some of that discussion early on for our cadets so that they are able to be ready to engage in that fight the day one that they graduate from here.
Talk a bit about the new facility that's proposed and what will the Academy be able to do as a result of the new facility that it's not able to do right now?
So the new facility here is very, very exciting to us. This becomes an ability for us to bring together multiple different facets that we have going that are supporting cyber and multi-domain operations here at the Academy. Three of the different organizations that are really key partners here. We have my Department of Computer and Cyber Sciences, which we provide a bunch of the academic capability. We are the lead for the academic capability. We also do the training mission as well as a lot of the research and development, which is in the room you see here as one example of. We also have Air Force CyberWorks, which is an amazing capability that the Air Force is growing here on USAFA grounds. This is not an Air Force Academy direct component. It is a component that happens to be resident here to take advantage of the faculty and the cadets and the experiences that we have here at USAFA to give that experience to the cadets and the faculty, but also to bring direct mission capability for the Air Force using design thinking and other leading edge technologies and concepts and approaches for solving wicked problems. We also are very fortunate to have the Department of Homeland Security Center of Innovation here on the Academy, which is a key component for linking us to the interagency areas. bringing all these components together in this new facility, one provides us an immediate ability, so I can have cadets go through an experience where they're learning something in the classroom and then they can see it being applied in a design sprint for a real world Air Force problem, and then work through it into research and development over a year to actually make that idea turn into a reality and provide it to operators. The plan for the new facility is that it will contain multiple different labs that provide state-of-the-art capabilities for the cadets to go and engage in. And that engagement is not just in the classroom, but also in the research and design, also in the design sprints, also with a partnership with industry. And that facility provides that ability to have this wonderful connection between both the commercial environment and the operational environment, so we can bring all the different players together to solve hard problems and to have cadets directly engaged in that solution space, making it much more compelling, making their time here at USAFA even more compelling and exciting for them, but also providing them the knowledge that they can and the partnerships so that they will be able to in the future do great things for our Air Force.
So how will the experience cadets receive at the Center for Cyber Innovation translate into their Air Force careers?
So a couple different things that make this really interesting from an experiential perspective. First, the problems we're trying to bring in are not just pedagogical problems. They are real-world Air Force problems. In fact, we do a lot of work, partnership between the Department of Computer Science, Cyber Sciences and Air Force CyberWorks to look at both the design sprints and our research and development activities to make sure we have a combination of real-world operational needs and hopefully, ideally, not always the case, but ideally, business partners that are interested in trying to explore to grow inside of those questions in that space. That experience where now cadets are working hand-in-hand with the industry partners and hand-in-hand with the operational community provides them better awareness of what's in the art of possible from a design and creativity perspective, better aware of what's in the problem space that the operators are having to fight with right now in the field. And then better able to handle the solutions of how do they take an idea and turn it into a reality and then implement it into a warfighting capability. That whole experiential track makes this such a compelling place that the cadets can really feel that they are making a positive contribution, even here in their time at the academy, but have the confidence to know that when they get out into the field, they've already done some of that. They've already have their fingerprints on the Air Force, and hopefully grow and continue to contribute more and more as they progress in their careers.
Talk a bit about the project timeline. When do you expect to break ground?
The project is expected to break ground in the first quarter of 2019.
I imagine this is an exciting time to be back at your alma mater, kind of helping direct the cyber effort.
It really is a great time to be back at the institution. There's tremendous support and excitement surrounding cyber, both here in the institution itself, but also more broadly in the Air Force. And we're finding amazing support from the operational community to try to help us work with them to solve some of the hard problems that they're engaging in. The cadets are excited and growing in their enthusiasm and being part of cyber and all the different opportunities it provides from, like I said, the artificial intelligence all the way through hacking and defense activities. And then the industry partnerships that we're able to grow and develop here just continue to be hugely supportive of our program, and we look forward to any of that continuing in the future.
So I would assume that the awareness of cyber really helps kind of drive what the Academy is trying to do.
There is absolutely an increasing awareness of cyber. Again, it goes into that broader definition. We've been approached by multiple different agencies in the government and even outside of the government trying to ask us to help them through hard problems that are surrounding about programming through data, through implementation of hacking and challenging problems. As the Air Force continues to grow in its realization of the importance of this data for command and control, for all of our operations that we're conducting, the support just continues to grow for our institution and for the programs that we're providing here.
Is the partnership with business and industry something that is kind of new for the Air Force?
So I'm going to answer that, but a little bit tangential, if I can. So the partnership with industry and business is really an interesting facet here with this cyber program. The Air Force and cyber in general, as it continues to grow in the commercial market, is in many ways going to be leading the edge, leading well beyond even the DoD. So from my perspective, the the future war, a cyber-based war, is not going to be won simply by the DoD alone. It's going to be in partnership with the commercial industry and those companies that are heavily involved in this space. And nowadays, for almost all the companies are heavily involved in some level of cybersecurity, cyber awareness, cyber development, if you will. So in particular, talking about cyber defense aspects of it. How we can partner with them so that we understand their needs and their challenges that they're working with and how they overcome those challenges is directly helping the Air Force figure out how we should go and apply and align ourselves and create our command and control structures and provide or execute our operations in order to be effective inside of that cyber space. What's really compelling about the Air Force Academy is we become this wonderful melting pot for this, where we're able to bring industry partners and have them sit side by side, operators and cadets, in order to figure out what's the delta between our different approaches in this space, what's the benefits of one versus another, and then provide that connection and that understanding back to the operators. One of the neat things of this space is almost all of our projects have some type of industry partnerships that we're able to go and bring together for this. That's really, really important for us, because what that does is now gives an ability to see what's the state of the art in the commercial environment, which is going to progress way faster than potentially some of the military development environment. And our cadets can be part of that and understand how they're doing it, but also what they're doing and why. Bringing that now when they go into their operational community, that just gives them that much of a leg up so that they're able to solve these hard challenges inside of the operational community as they learn and grow in that area, and they're able to do that much more.
So what successes have you had partnering with industry?
So we've got a whole spectrum of different ways we partner with industry, and the successes have been tremendous in each of those areas. All the way through our cadet summer research program, where we send our cadets to go and do partnerships inside of the industry space, working on their problems, but helping the cadet to understand what's in the art of the possible for that industry partner. All the way through having embedded researchers in our program. And so that was really pioneered by the Center of Innovation, where they had a successful partnership with a major industry company, developing some amazing high-tech capabilities that we were able to have cadets directly working with on the ground floor, which is now prevalent throughout the commercial environment itself. One of the things I'm really excited about is the way we've continued to grow our partnership opportunities with industry. So we've long since had a cadet summer research program, which is basically an internship. That we've sent our cadets out to go and do some time with an operational community. That's quickly been growing so that we're sending more and more cadets out to industry partners to do amazing things working with industry on their problem sets. As we've continued to grow in cyber here in the last few years, we've now seen amazing partnership opportunities through direct support through, for example, the USOF endowment, providing amazing capabilities, much like the room that you're sitting in now. That provides our cadets that experiential learning and an ability to go really to an experiential learning and growth capability that we would not have been able to provide on our own. All the way through the most extreme cases where we've had industry partners actually having resident experts sitting in our spaces working hand in hand with cadets for significant periods of time. That was really championed by the Center of Innovation, and they were able to prove the value of this kind of embedded partnerships for at least one major industry company. And we're really hoping to grow that here shortly with multiple different partners working on that industry's research space, but doing it hand in hand with cadets and bringing in the operational experience that could help apply it towards the Air Force and warfighting capabilities.
Colonel Caswell, thank you for being with us today and talking about cyber at USAFA. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I really appreciate the talk.
And thank you for joining us for Falcon Focus.